I think we should start. All right. So, good afternoon, everyone from Lagos, Nigeria. To be morning or evening or night, wherever you are. Thank you so much for joining us for the 96th online initiative of the ClimatEducate project. Thank you so much. It's so good to see your beautiful faces. And I'm so happy with all our speakers are here on time. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for honoring our invite. So I think we should just get right into it. Okay, so these are the beautiful faces of our speakers, and I am Rashidah AbdulQuadri, and I'll be moderating the session. The title of our session for this afternoon is Uniting for the Planet, the Role of Strategic Partnerships in Achieving Climate Goals. And I think it's coming at a beautiful time when we are having the global conference of parties that is going to be happening in Brazil. And I think it's important we have this conversation. So thank you so much to our speakers for coming. Our agenda, we're having the opening remarks, introducing the panelists, we're having a panel discussion, then we'll have the Q&A session, and we'll have the photo session, and of course, the closing remarks. We don't want to take too much of your time, so we'll just have this very, really fast. So for the opening remarks, I'll be calling on the ATO president for ClimatEducate, in person of John Carl Alonsage. He's the ATO president, and he will be giving us the opening remarks. Carl, can we have you?
Yes, thank you, Rashidah. Yeah, just
so
to
can give me a virtual round of applause.
Thank you. Yeah, just a bit of a correction. Yeah, so president of the ATO, which is the mother organization of ClimatEducate project. Yeah, so good day, everyone. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are. Thank you for joining our panel today, titled Uniting for the Planet, the Role of Strategic Partnerships in Achieving the Climate Goals. I think it's a very relevant event that we're having right now, especially we're in the midst of a very important time at the moment during the commencement of the 30th Conference of Parties to the UN Framework Convention on Climate Change in Belém, Brazil. And more than ever, I believe that it's the very test of our multilateralism and how cooperation should work in various scales, both local and international, especially that climate change has reached its maximum impacts around the world. And our discussions today would reflect that, considering how small international organizations carry out partnerships as contributions to the global goals. We hope that you will have a fruitful, insightful participation in this online initiative. This is the 96th one since we started the project in 2016. And this one has been realized through the efforts of our members, Rashidah, Michael, and Noel. But all of them are members of our Committee for Partnerships and Engagement. And something that we really commend in their efforts. This idea actually started since 2-3 months ago. So yeah, we thank them for their efforts, and also we thank you, our participants, and to our speakers. Thank you for coming, and I wish you all a great time during the discussion. Thank you. Back to you, Rashidah.
Thank you so much, John, for the beautiful opening remarks, and I'm sure you're going to enjoy the session. So I'm going to be introducing the panelists for the discourse this afternoon. I'm going to start with Michael Yap. He's the Seagrass Guardian, and I'll be reading. I want you to know about, because these experts, we didn't just pick them randomly. We really had to go deep, because these people have been doing a whole lot when it comes to environmental sustainability. So you're going to be hearing a bit about them. Michael Yap is a marine biologist with extensive experience specializing in seagrass ecosystem. His passion for marine conservation led him to establish the Seagrass Guardians, a non-governmental organization dedicated to promoting education, awareness, and conservation of seagrass habitats. The organization also provides technical support for seagrass restoration projects, aiming to safeguard this vital yet often overlooked marine ecosystem. Michael actively partners with a wide network of NGOs, local communities, private sectors, and government agencies to strengthen seagrass protection initiatives. Its collaborative approach bridges science, policy, and public engagement, fostering collective action for marine sustainability. Through his leadership and advocacy, Michael Yap continues to champion the importance of seagrass and blue carbon habitats in addressing climate challenges and nurturing a healthier ocean for future generations. Thank you so much, Michael. Thank you for coming. So the next person on the panel this afternoon is Mayokun Iyaomolere. Mayokun is a visionary environmentalist with a decade of experience in leading environmental action and climate resilience. Okay, in Nigeria and globally. His commitment stems from early experiences with climate impacts in Lajel, LGA, Ondo State, where he hails from. Mayokun founded Plogging Nigeria, an organization presently with membership of 2,000 Nigerian youth, with thematics focused on cleanups, arts, circularity, environmental education, research and development, environmental policy tracking, and environmental and climate justice. He also runs the Green Switch Academy. Green Switch Academy, where he trains young people on the foundation of environmental sustainability through experiential techniques. He has trained 1,965 persons from 28 countries through 30 cohorts of the academy. Mayokun is a Shevlin and Mandela Washington alumni, recognized for his significant contributions to environmental sustainability in Nigeria. He's driven by the desire for an environmental sustainability conscious world with intentional actions driven towards its fulfillment by individuals, institutions, and industry. Thank you so much, Mayokun, for coming. The next person on our panel discussion this afternoon is MD Sariful Islam. He's a communications, advocacy, and media professional with over 17 years of experience in strategic communications, journalism, and campaign management. He currently serves as the head of influencing, communications, advocacy at Oxfam in Bangladesh, and has also worked with the International Labour Organization, International Organization for Migration, Action Aid Bangladesh, and Care Bangladesh. His journalism career includes work with leading national outlets such as Daily Samakal, Daily Amadar Shemoy, Ekushe Television, and South Asian Television. He's a graduate of the University of Dhaka in mass communication and journalism. He has contributed to over 200 campaigns, secured 11,005 media reports, and reached more than 120 million people through strategic communication and impactful advocacy. MD Sariful Islam, thank you so much for coming. I'm sure from the bio that I've just read, you can see that we didn't just pick just anybody. These are people who are well-grounded. Thank you so much once again for accepting our invite. We are really honored. So I'll be moderating this session. I'm Rashidah AbdulQuadri. I'm the Director for Partnership and Engagement at ATO ClimatEducate project. You can also give me a virtual applause. Thank you so much. So we're going to dive right into it because this conversation is really important and it's something that we should have often because environmental sustainability and everything that regards the environment is not something that we can just leave to chance. It's something that every one of us has to be involved with. So I'll go right into the panel discussion. I'm sure our speakers, they are ready for me. Okay, please, this is going to be like, I want it to be very engaging. I want us to be really relaxed, you understand? We just want to have something that everybody can relate with and everyone can be able to pick one or two lessons from it. So we all know that climate change is no longer a distant threat. It's a present reality. From rising sea levels to erratic weather patterns, communities across the globe are already feeling the impacts. But amid this urgency, there's also hope. Because when people, organizations, and governments unite with purpose, we unlock the power to drive a real lasting change. And today's conversation is about that power that we all hold, about the strategic partnership, not just handshakes and MOUs, but meaningful collaborations that break silos, where we share resources and we build bridges across sectors and borders. And whether it's a tech company working with a conservation NGO or youth-led movements, teaming up with local governments, these partnerships, they are the heartbeat of climate progress, as we all know. And as we approach the Conference of Parties 30 that is happening in Brazil, it is more important now than ever to ask, what actually makes a climate partnership effective? How do we build trust across diverse stakeholders? And how can we ensure that every voice, from the grassroots to global, is part of the solution? Because we need everyone. We can't afford to leave anyone behind. And so we're going to explore these questions together, because the planet doesn't need isolated efforts. It needs a united action. And I'm sure you all agree with me that this is really important. So I'm going to start with, what should I start with? Okay, let me start with Mayokun Iyaomolere. My question to you is, we're talking about strategic partnership in climate. What exactly makes partnership strategic and not just something that we just say and it's just symbolic? Why is a strategic partnership really strategic? What makes it really strategic? Please, can you open the floor with that?
Okay, thank you very much, Rashidah. Please confirm that you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you.
All right, I'll seize this opportunity to wish you a happy birthday. Congratulations on the new year. And I think it's strategic that this is happening on your birthday. So happy birthday to you. All right.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Yeah, to answer the question, yeah, partnerships should not just be symbolic. I like the word you used in the question, but strategic. Now, there's a lot of people doing a lot of things, doing a lot of impact and development work, and you could just put yourself out there and, oh, people can reach out, you can reach out to people and say, okay, for the sake of partnership, I mean, partnership is the 17th Sustainable Development Goal. You can say, I just want to be seen as an organization, as an individual that partners with others, but it's not strategic. So that would be it being symbolic but not strategic, because you just want to partner because they say partnership is key, collaboration is the new competition, and all sort of stuff like that. But for strategic partnership, you're looking at the kind of partnership that will amplify the work you're doing and also the work of the people, the organization, the institution, the firm, the business that you are partnering with. So this partnership is really focused. It's so that we can combine resources, we can harmonize efforts, we can bring all our different strengths, we can cover our weaknesses that we have as different stakeholders, but working on the same thematic. So we bring all of this together and we are able to pool resources, we are able to bring our voices together, we are able to be louder, and whatever we are shining the light on is made louder. So for example, even in the space of the environment, for example, I do a lot of work around environmental behavior, change, climate education, and all of that. I think one of our guests does work around seagrass, and in the environment space is still a wide space. So I cannot partner with everybody just because I want to partner and this person is working in the environment space. I have to look for organizations, I have to look for individuals and other bodies that do the kind of work I do, and where our coming together would yield more effort to maximize, we enhance the impacts that we can make. So yeah, partnership is very important, but it should not be symbolic. It should rather be very strategic and with a united focus, with a common goal of amplifying the efforts of the partnering bodies. Thank you.
Thank you so much. You mentioned something really important, because we shouldn't just partner all because we want to, for partnership's sake. And we see a whole lot of that happening, you know. a lot of partnerships will just do it, okay, probably for the pictures, nothing really significant. And I love the fact that you mentioned amplifying, because the truth is, it's not just our voices that should be heard. We should be able to amplify the voices of those who are really feeling the impact of this climate change we are talking about. Thank you so much for that answer. Okay, let me move on to MD Sariful. Looking at partnership and it being strategic. Can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, thank you so much. Yes, I can hear you. So, how do you think we can bridge the gap between local action and climate goals, global climate goals? How do you think we can bridge? You know, a lot of times we just do things locally, and sometimes it's not felt locally. How can we bridge that gap so that whatever it is we're doing locally can be felt in the global space of environmental sustainability?
Perfect. Thank you so much. First of all, like climate change itself is a global issue. So whatever we are doing, even country level, regional level, and global level, it itself a global issue. But the challenge is we cannot sometimes connect the dots. I would like to answer your questions by giving a specific example. Like I have been working in this sector for quite a long, around 18 years, as a journalist, as a development professionals, working with the United Nations. What I see, sometimes we understand it's a global issue, but we see from a local lens. Making it global, that requires some sort of bridges that you were asking. How we can do that? I'm leading the portfolio of advocacy campaign and communication here in Oxfam, Bangladesh. I want to give a recent example. Recently, we leading to the COP 30, we launched 2 months back a campaign that is called Plan the Funds. You know, climate finance is a very important issue, particularly the country who are vulnerable. And Bangladesh, one of the 7th most vulnerable country when it comes to climate impact. So we know our challenge impacts, but a country like USA or Canada or UK, who are the producer of carbon emissions, they don't understand, or even they understand, they don't want to finance, particularly loss and damage and other prospective mitigation and adaptation. So what we did, our objective was to build the narrative through the Plan the Funds campaign and connect it to a regional and then global perspective. Then you can ask me how this can be a regional and global and a shared global things. So what we did, particularly as you know, in the Asia, where almost half population of the world lives in, and most of the populations are youths. I mean that their age is below the 35. So we invited around 19 youths from 7 countries across the Asia, and make a common understanding, yes, why we need climate finance. And then we together go to the communities, take the insight of the impact, and build stories, right? Well, stories meaning, for example, in southern part of Bangladesh, people every year, they face cyclones and floods, but how it translates to global level. These youth go to there, bring that insight, connect it to the national stakeholder like the government of Bangladesh, UN, NGOs, CSOs, and then we connected it to regional platforms like regional forums, mutual networks. And through this exercise, we also linked it to the different platforms like COP. For example, the campaign I'm talking about, so we have rigorously documented that documents went to regional level of meaning, like regional platform like in Bangkok, all the UN offices, all the NGOs, INGOs, government and other. And that document, that reports are also going to COP. So how are we doing bridging this gap? Strategically, I think number one, building the narrative based on the evidence, data, and stories, right? And then based on that, we identify who are the key players from the government perspective, from the CSO perspective, and other perspective. We have identified the youth, we have identified the government counterparts, and then we have identified the regional counterparts, and then of course globally. So even like last 2 weeks back, Oxfam has launched every year a global great report that you call risk. You probably heard about that. Makes risk polluters pay. I don't know whether you heard about this. The report is all about how risk countries produces carbon emissions, but they contribute less in terms of compensation. So the Plant the Funds campaigns, insights, stories, innovation are being also linked to that global report, the global platform. This report was launched in Bangkok. This report is launched globally. So what I'm trying to make is that to bridge the local and global part, we need to build the real insight through advocacy research campaign that can be connected to any one of the world. For example, like the impact of climate change on health or business or social enterprise or any sort of environment, it is the same. If we can tell that story through the lens of India or Brazil or USA or Canada, that can be linked in a better way. So building evidence, connecting through local key players, linking global key players, and of course the global global counterparts. And here I would start by saying that here channel is very important things. Channel meaning is not TV channel, through which you are conveying your tools, messages, everything. So of course social media is a channel, television is a channel, journalism is a channel, UN and its own way of working is a channel, COP is a channel, right? So we have first year started, the COP has started. So where, what will happen when. So if you know the full spectrum events activity, and that is being transformed live or connected. So if you know exactly where to connect, and if you have built all of the supply chain together, so it's not that much difficult to connect the global trends. But again, the challenge is we know our issues, but how it can be scale it up regionally and then globally. If you want to directly go to the global, sometimes you will miss some sort of wings. I would stop here.
Thank you so much. That was really, really insightful, and I really think you mentioned very key insights there about data is really important. I'm still coming back to that, and I'm really happy you mentioned that data, identifying key players, which is really important, research campaigns, and of course media is really important in order for us to bridge the gap between local impact, local actions with what is happening globally. Thank you so much. So Michael, are you ready for me?
Yeah.
Okay, so we are talking about partnership, not just partnership, of course, strategic partnership. What are those things? What are those key ingredients do you think is important for us to have a very successful strategic partnership?
Okay. Partnerships, it will require both sides. There's a mutual understanding of both parties. And sometimes when we want to approach parties or organizations or government agency or some collaborative discussions, sometimes we need to using what we call layman language that's suitable for that parties or that particular stakeholders. For example, let's say we talk with policy makers. Of course, they will require data. So we need to show the result from the grassroots. What is the story behind it? What is the data to support the claim we are raising up to the policymakers? And what kind of challenge are facing, and what kind of solutions that the stakeholders can provide, and how we're going to link that. But while we're talking with grassroots or communities, of course, we don't take too much of scientific data to talk with them. We need to translate it, or we call science communications, because this to link up different stakeholders. So when we able to link up with the stakeholders, this will become an open dialect for both sides to communicate, to raise out the concerns, the challenges, and then we can partner together and find better solutions that work with everyone's involved into it. So these are one of the key elements in strategic partners, because sometimes some organizations might be extremes over their own ideas and not willing to listen to other stakeholders. And this will make the partnership collapse. Yeah, so these are few of the things that we need to keep in mind when we are, how you say, try to approach and want to set up a partnerships with different stakeholders. And other ingredients would be communications, non-stop communication and dialogues. Okay, we need to understand their challenges as well. What kind of concern they are raising up. So only then it's easier for us to communicate. So that's one of the ingredients I can think of for now. Other than that, I think it will be open-minded to talk with everyone, to explore the potentials for collaborations and partnership. It may not be partners for now, but when we keep the networks and the working relationship, it might be after 1 year or 2 years, then there is a need for that. Then we can easily form the partnership easily. Instead of now I need partnership on this particular aspect, then only I start searching and searching, and that will take a period of time for discussions and dialogue before we can form a formal collaborations. So the second ingredient will be open-minded and constant talk with everyone, explore the potentials, and keep notes that which organizations, what's their expertise, what are their potential collaborations, and when the time right, we just form the partnership, and then we can work together better, resource sharings, working together to achieve the global goals. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Michael. You kept on saying, and the second thing, but I've written about 10 different things you have said, which are really, really, really important. You mentioned mutual understanding. I think you don't just form partnership with people whereby you don't share same values and you are not looking towards a common goal. Mutual understanding is important. Language is really, really, really important, which you mentioned. Of course, look at the challenges and the solutions. What are those challenges you really want to work about, or you really want to work on, and what are the solutions? And of course, you bring in the people who are affected as part of the decision makers, as part of the people who are going to, curate the solutions for those particular challenges. They are really important. And of course, we need to be open-minded. Don't just be rigid, listen to other people, listen to their opinions and everything. Thank you so much. So let me go back to Mayokun. Mayokun, you partner a whole lot. I see you partner with institutions, with a lot of youth organizations and the likes. And I'm sure you must have gone through a lot of challenges in the past. What are those things that actually make some of these partnerships? I don't know if you've had any failed partnership, or probably you know of some challenges that one usually faces whenever there's going to be any climate partnership. What are those challenges? Can you give us insight about those challenges and how to avoid them? Have you been through any challenges like that?
Yeah, thank you very much, Rashidah. Definitely, it's been challenging. There's been challenges trying to form strategic partnerships for the work that we do. And I think I was learning a lot from Michael when he was speaking on the many points that he mentioned. Some of the things he mentioned are things that if I had known them earlier when I got into the space, would probably have helped me navigate some of the challenges better. So there are things that we had to learn on the job. And one I see that is very important is forming relationships and maintaining those relationships, and not just waiting until you need a particular kind of partnership, or you're looking for a particular kind of support, or working together before you start searching for individuals or institutions that fall in that category, and you initiate conversations and all that. So yeah, there's been times when in my organization, we've wanted to execute projects, and one thing we usually do is we create a list of, okay, for this project, for this initiative, for this program, who would fall. We categorize stakeholders, prospective partners into three groups. One is superiors. So those organizations or institutions, individuals, ministries, departments, and agencies of government, private and public firms that are in a higher place than us, that can, maybe they're in the policy level, a bigger organization that is doing something similar to what we do, that have more experience than us generally. Then we also categorize contemporaries, institutions, individuals that we feel are on the same level with us, and also juniors, those that, okay, maybe we have a little bit of more experience than, because we have been in the space for long, we have done more projects and all that. So we try to look across these three groups and see that how can we establish partnerships for this project. And yes, we now try to start reaching out to people in these different groups. And sometimes you have a project that you want to execute in a particular time frame. You have a deadline for the project, but because you're just starting to converse with these people, writing letters, calls, sending emails, physical visits, then time just passes by and you're not able to establish that key partnership that would have really amplified the impact of the project. So yes, relationships are important to be built. As many as we can build, as many people as we can connect with, let's keep the connections alive, so that when it's time, when there's an opportunity to partner with those people, there's already a thread of conversation, there's already a relationship with them, and we don't have to start from scratch. Yeah, so relationships, building relationships, this has been one of the challenges. And another thing is that we have been offered partnership from superiors, from contemporaries, from juniors that are not really in sync with what we do, and they've been tempting ones, really. So we are an environmental focused organizations, and we get invitations to partner for projects that are not really within, it does not align with our scope. It's still good work, it's still good things. So we have to decide at that point, oh, if we go and become a part of these projects, yeah, we'll probably get some resources. We'll say, oh, we did this, but is this really what we want to do? So I think for those of us in the climate space, we need to be careful, and we need to maintain our identity. It's easy because it's easy when you see resources in another space or in another thematic, in something that may not be environment or climate related, and you are invited to be part of that, and you are looking for how to desperately find a link. You know, that's where we say everything connects to the environment, this, that. So yeah, true, everything connects to the environment, but there are some instances where you know you are just doing this because you want to go for the resources here, and the resources would really be helpful for your organization, but you have to stick to your books and maintain your identity. Yeah, this is beautiful work you're doing, I can support you in other ways, but we may not be able to have an official partnership from in this way. And yeah, when we've been in a few situations like that, we still turned down a partnership offer just 2 days ago, and sometimes it looks like we are bad guys, we are the bad guys, or we don't want to follow the trend and just catch up and do stuff. But yeah, I think it's really important that people in our space, organizations in our space, maintain their identity and stick to what they want to do. Don't lose the core of your message because you want to be here and there. You want to get access to all kinds of resources that are available in, you know, all the development space. And the third thing I'll close with regarding challenges for partnership is communication. And I think Sariful and Michael spoke to it also in parts. Communication is very important. How to communicate what we want to do, what you want to do to partners. Now, sometimes you are able to find an organization, an institution who is, and they are interested in what you are doing, but you need to communicate to them how. Many partners, everybody wants, what do we benefit from this? That's a very big question in partnership. What do we stand to gain? What do we benefit from this? Even when it's government, everybody wants to be able to get some glory. So communicating that sometimes is challenging because you are thinking that you should understand why we are doing this, not really for the credits, not really for the glory, not really for the applause, but because we really want to make impact. But some funders, some partners are not concerned about that. Some businesses are not concerned. They just want to, we want to come in good light. We want to appear in good light. So how can this make us appear in good light? So it's a dicey one to navigate sometimes, depending on the kind of partners, and trying to make them understand that the first focus of this is impact. Yes, of course, we are going to sing praises. We are going to say we're able to pull this off because of you, because of your involvement, but our core focus is impact. And because some partners are more interested in the appearance of the whole thing, it may affect the way you communicate the project, even to the public. After you have completed the project, how you talk about it, are you singing praises more about the partner, or you are talking more about the impact you are making? So there's a whole lot of fine-tuning and nuances that needs to be navigated around communicating with partners, and ensuring that you stay on the impact angle of things and not just on the praise and credit part. So I think I'll just stop here for now.
Yes. That's a whole lot to unpack, and I think he just really hits the nail on the head. Relationship building is really important. Social currency is important, even communication. I'm sure none of you speakers will be here if one way or the other there hasn't been any relationship established before now. And I think you mentioned very important insights when it comes to that. And of course, these challenges will always come and go, but it is important we understand how to navigate when it actually happens. And of course, you took me back to finance, which is really important. I think too often a lot of partnerships have failed because, of course, everybody expects that this organization has money to fund the partnership. The other one is thinking, and truly, there's really nothing we can do so impactful without finance. And of course, this will bring me to MD Sariful. I want you to speak into this. What are those financing mechanisms you think are important to support climate partnership? We need money. We need money, truly. And this is one topic that everybody, everybody's always about money to do this, money to bring people together, even to have discussions, money, right? So, and of course, we need it in environmental, when it comes to environmental concerns, money is important, finance is important. So could you please just in 3 minutes speak into financing mechanism that you feel can help in supporting climate partnerships? Thank you.
Thank you. I'm glad you have asked these questions because I'm very relevant to this. And you have a term of innovative financing. Let's start with that. Globally, even the development sector is shrinking. USAID is drying up. The FCDO or SDC or global big ODA, ODA, Organizational Development Partnership, and the money we go through the big NGO, that is drying up. But I want to put in on globally money has shrinked. No, every year, even the war in Russia, Ukraine, in Palestine, currently in even Africa, every year global GDP is rising in 2.5%. Money is there. Issue is whether we can grab the money or not. That is why the term innovative financing is very, very important for climate financing. Let me start with money is there, how we can grab that, and why we need to do that to get finance for climate actions. I will go the institutional funding later, but let's start with innovative financing. What's are available? First of all, crowdfunding is an area currently we are in Bangladesh. We are working globally. If you are at crowdfunding, utilizing your digital platform. I want to give a very specific example. When I was working with IOM, International Organization for Migration, we engaged UK diaspora community, Bangladeshi diaspora community, to work for Bangladesh climate action. So diaspora is a big area. I don't know whether you know about the diaspora in a term. Like diaspora are the people who lives in different country, originated from another country, but they have a close connection where they are from. Right? Bangladesh, we have 2.4 million diaspora members across the world. In the UK, we have 700,000 diaspora members who have money, and every year they send $2 billion in remittances. For example, if we have a very good platform that we have, through the platform, digital platform, you can develop a very good innovative proposals. Yes, in the southern part of Bangladesh, every year climate hints, and we are developing grease business that makes the farmer resilient. They can now produce climate smart agriculture. They can also produce green business, and that can go even the international supply chain. And through that, if you can connect that proposal to a diaspora member who probably is an investor in the UK or US or Russia, and if you can communicate properly with it, a smart proposal makes something great. Like if you have a solid pitch deck, if you can communicate, the money is there. Then the green business and other area would, for example, we talk about climate finance, but ultimately in this year, the people in the COP will discuss a lot. Ultimately, the country like Bangladesh or Vanuatu or like Sri Lanka, they will get nothing they will get, considering their need. But we will be stopped there? No. Internally and externally, there are a lot of mechanisms. For example, CSR is a big issue for currently across the globe. If we talk about India, Indian government has made sure the businesses that produce money, at least 3 to 5% of their revenue comes to social sector. If you know, for example, Paytm or in Bangladesh, HSBC, they invest in social sector. If you can connect that as a resource gateway, you will definitely get the money. That also requires a smart analysis, problem statement, and the piece deck I'm talking about. Another important area that is called currently impact investment, that also linked to sometimes business and turn to social enterprise. I would definitely focus on social enterprise issues. The reason why, currently globally, development ecosystem, development top-down funding approach is definitely not working right now. In 3 to 4 years, it will absolutely not work. I am telling this to you from my experience working with 2 like ILO, 2 UN agencies, 3 international organizations, CARE, ActionAid, and Oxfam. They are the global player. Taking that insight, I can tell you that in 2 or 3 years down the lines, whatever the money coming from top-down approach as a development need, that will not come. So what do we need then to do? In social enterprise model would be the future, meaning you need to co-create. For example, a person who is vulnerable climate change, giving their idea, knowledge, everything, and make aware, yes, I can also contribute to climate resilience. Then connect to a company in Australia, probably through the carbon trading concept. Though this is a mitigation option, but in Bangladesh, I can give you another example. In southern part of Bangladesh, there is a salinity. The challenge is even people cannot drink water, safe drinking water. So what we did in a project, so we connected a organization in the Australia, and they are one of the polluters, quote unquote. And through the carbon trading concept, we built project, and they are investing money here with solar panel, and that solar panel bringing up the water, safe drinking water that go to the community. And in addition to that, there is also another model. The people who are getting safe water with the minimum price, also we are encouraging them to invest some sort of skill, like in a week, 2 days, and we develop that skills and capacity. They are currently produce the product like that we call through the plastic recycled product. That is also going through the different supply. Lastly, what I would like to focus on, the top-down model will still be relevant. How? Recently, I was in another part of the country where one of the ambassador in Bangladesh, that is EU ambassador in Bangladesh, we are in a very close discussion. I particularly asked a questions to the delegation. You have the money, but you are not providing money. What is your future goal of giving money? The answer is, we will look into sustainability. Sustainability meaning the organization whom they will give money, they have the equal portion of contribution through knowledge, capacity, and partnership, right? Currently, the money is coming from the FWs, like giving money, and 100 taka if they gain, and ultimately money, the people who receive it, it ultimately is like for example, $100, it ultimately can be $5. $95 is being taken up by the middleman like us, right? So when the community capacity is built, when they can show some sort of resilience, and when they have their own business model, I'm not telling business model like for-profit business model, meaning social enterprise model. The money itself, it will generate, that will be also distributed for the community. And this model, even donor are prioritizing. If you see the strategy of FCD, if you see the strategy of FCDO, even I can tell you, guarantee you, in next 2 or 3 years, Donald Trump himself will create a different model, like Elon Musk's model, meaning they will definitely give the money where they will find the interest. Meaning, if this part of people can also contribute, that will also generate funding. So I would definitely please focus on social enterprise. If you don't have, I would also request this group of people also organize sessions on social enterprise. What does it mean? How can it be? That is the future of generating money. And of course, technology that I'm talking about, crowdfunding, diaspora engagement, CSR, and another, I would stop by saying this, sustainability financing. Every, for example, 2-3 months back, Microsoft Corporation announced they will invest $200 billion next 25 years. They will not give the money only the top-down approach. Who has the capacity at the ground and contribute co-creation model, as well as who can go for social enterprise models as such, where they will definitely invest the money. That currently things are going on. I should stop here, but probably yes.
Wow, thank you so much. Social enterprise model, really important. Carbon trading, crowdfunding, diaspora investment, sustainability financing. Okay, hope you wouldn't mind. I think at this point I need to consult you, because we actually need that money. And of course, even though the global funding is shrinking, the opportunities are still there if we truly know where to look, to really look at. Thank you so much. So let me ask these. Okay, let me call my second to the last with Michael Yap. I'll ask this question before I now ask my general questions. Michael, how can we ensure that youth's voices are not just heard, but integrated into climate decision making? Because it is important now it's not about inviting them. They need to be at the decision making table. Maybe if you're not bringing the youth into it, maybe they will start bringing their own chairs or making their own tables. But how do we ensure, as organizations, how do we ensure that youth voices are not just heard, but integrated into climate decision making? Please, in 2 minutes, Michael.
Okay. This is a bit challenging, but sometimes we need to be creative. So using social medias, this is one of the platforms we can use by framing the narrative, the stories that we want to raise up to decision makers. So we'll frame it in a ways that it tells the stories, what is the cost, what's the challenge, and what kind of solutions the policymakers can do to help to solve these problems. And from this, it will start, might be viral, might not, but in a way, it will spread out to other peoples, and may spread across our networks of partners, collaborators, and so on. And maybe some of them might hint to help us to connect to the policymakers. So in my experience, self-promoting the stories, selling the ideas that what is the issues, what is the challenges, and what kind of solutions that can be done. And when we provide options of solutions, people will be keen to talk with us. And then we can network and talk more and find the better solutions to solve that particular challenge or issues that we rise up. So sometimes the youth ideas voice are not heard because they are not, promote or being storytelling in the proper ways. They might be telling too much of problems, but not giving people's ideas of solutions. Okay, so that's why as organizations, we always open up solutions for policymakers so that they don't feel too burdens and too troubles to think by themselves, but willing to open their mind and talk with the grassroots, the youth, the community organizations, and to find solution together. That would be from my views.
Wow. Wow. I got about 5 points for that, but the one that really stood out for me is storytelling. The youth should not just talk about challenges. It's important, as we're talking about challenges, we should also come up with solutions, and solutions that can be scalable, solutions that will actually bring that succor we are looking for. Thank you so much, Michael. So let me go to my last question before we take questions from the floor or input. Mayokun, you've had lots and lots of partnership over the years. Can you just tell us one partnership that you really had, that you really admire, and why, in 1 minute?
That's a difficult question. Because with the nature of our work in my organization, we have partnered with, in our 7 years of operations, we have partnered with over 80 organizations.
Wow.
And yeah, because we do a lot of advocacy and campaign and education, so we seize every opportunity to spread the message.
I hope my question will not put you in trouble, because by the time you mention one, others will come for you.
I do, right? So I'm still thinking through my head, but okay, I would say that one of our projects where we enjoy, where I personally, and this is personal, not representative of my organization, where I think I enjoy partnership the most is one of our projects we call an end of the year campaign. So it's a project we do every festive period. We started since 2019, and we are going to do that again this December. So we start in the last few days of the year, and it runs into the new year. And again, it's around helping to modify people's behavior in how they interact with the environment. So we know that during the festive period, everybody is in a joyful mood. Everybody is buying a lot of gifts, buying a lot of items, eating a lot of food. You know, there's like MD Sariful said, all the money that is everywhere, that's, you know, the GDP that has been increasing, looks like everybody saves seats for December and unleash by December. So we have that initiative where we try to educate people, and we want to reorient them that yes, as much as this is a festive period where you can use a lot of resources, buy a lot, gift a lot, you should do that with the consciousness and with the awareness that this is a form of interaction with the environment, and you want to do it in the most sustainable way possible. So we started that project in 2019, and every year we partner with at least 10 organizations. It's a virtual campaign. And we usually have about 500 people come on a WhatsApp group, and they pass, we have daily content that we release, and these people help to amplify this on their social media pages, on their WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, X. And so people broadcast this message, and at the end of the campaign, we usually have millions of reach and millions of impressions through social media. And so I think that is something I enjoy so much, the fact that we are able to bring a lot of young people together, hundreds of them, and these hundreds of people push this message out to their different audiences. So I can't mention an organization in particular, but I'd say that project, the nature of the project, and how other organizations want to be a part of it because they also understand that issue. And the most interesting part is that whenever we finish this campaign in the new year, usually the first 4 or 5 days of a new year, we have a lot of individuals and organizations that say that we want to continue with you in this. And I have learned something new. This is something I've been doing and I've never really seen in this life, but because of this campaign, participating in this campaign, seeing this campaign, I've learned, I've understood better, and I want to lend my voice to this whole effort, to this whole environmental issues that we are trying to address. And that is the highest point. The fact that all our education efforts is helping to awaken the environmental and climate consciousness in people. And they, beyond just awakening it in them, they also want to help to amplify. They want to understand the issues more. They want to know how they can come in. They want to see how the work that they do contributes to it, and how they can use the work that they do to help to address the issue. So yeah, they may not be doing things at the grandest scales, at COP level, at the UNGA levels, but they want to do the little they can do in their local environment. So yeah, that's the project that where I think I enjoy partnership the most so far in my organization. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you so much. I think that's really amazing, and it's thought-provoking. At least before you go into that celebration, know this, at least. And it's really important. And it's not just for the celebration, it's something that should be practiced all year round. Thank you so much for that. So let me go to MD Sariful. One last word for us in 30 seconds. One takeaway, could be a sentence, it could be a quote or something that we can take away.
Yes, I would request you to, as it's a youth platform, please invest in technology. That is number one. That will be a game changer in future. Please focus on co-creation and partnership. Find out network peoples and others. People, it's a matter of good communications with good proposals and others. And finally, being a good human communicator, meaning if you have good positive approach to people, if you can write a good, if you can see, because for example, this is a glass, you can always see half full, half full and half empty. If you have good aspiration spirit, the dot is around you, probably in USA, Canada, Australia, in Bangladesh. So just go outside, go out of the box. Opportunities are there.
Thank you so much, and thank you for keeping the time. Thank you. I really got so much from that very like 1 minute insights. Excellent communication is really important. Something I'm also learning, and I think everybody here, we need to understand that communication goes a long way. Michael, so before I call on Michael, please, if you have any question, you can drop it in the chat box, or after Michael, then we can take questions or insights or inputs. Michael, any last word in 1 minute?
Okay. Just do your best what your expertise is and share your story to others. So when people listening understand, there might be people to help us to connect with more people, more collaborations, more partnership, and we can do even greater things. That's for me. Yeah.
Definitely. Thank you so much. Share your stories. I think it's really important. We need visibility. Let people know what it is you're doing. It will encourage others to do even better or even do more. Thank you so much for that. Mayokun, I'm tempted to say 1 minute. No, I'm giving you 20 seconds. Any last word before we take the questions?
I will just re-echo what MD Sariful and Michael has said, everything they have said. So I'm reiterating it, pushing it back. Communication, tell your story, be good. I particularly like what MD Sariful said. Be good in all ways. And yeah, so all of that back.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I think I've had a really awesome session. Really, I've learned a whole lot from the three of you. Thank you so much. Do we have any inputs? Yes, you can give them a round of applause. Virtual one. Thank you. Do we have any inputs from the floor? Any question? If you have, please, you can unmute and speak. Anyone? If you don't have, I still have like 100 questions to ask. We can keep going for the next 1 hour. Do you have any inputs? Any question?
Questions. Only question. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Please go ahead.
Yeah. So I have questions. So Mr. Sariful says, give us some advice on how youth we can work for partnerships with other organizations. But I think the most of those examples he shares with us are for big organizations. Maybe some specific example for us as a youth organizations we can do for partnership. Any small way we can do.
Should I respond or?
Okay, please begin.
Okay. For partnership now it is not so big or small. It's how you can connect to them. So I am sharing a couple of tips and tricks. If you can emphasize that, automatically people will even ask for you to make partnership. Number one, whatever you do, please grade documentation, photo, video, narrative, right? Have a very good website, immediately put on there, put on social media, tag the right people, and promote that stories inside. That is number through documentation, promote. Number two, use your social media as well as particularly mainstream media through the journalism. If you know friend in journalism, please give them insight to produce report on the issue you are working, mentioning your organization. Number three, organize the event activity where you connect your aspire related organizations people. For example, if you would like to make a partnership, I am honestly speaking to, for example, you want to make a partnership with an United Nations organization. Please invite some relevant people to those organizations. Immediately, we'll get some leads. So, getting engaged is very crucial. Fourth point is like whatever you want. If you can make research, and based on the research, if you can make good proposals with good visuals, partnership will be an outcome. I can tell you. For example, you would like to work on the community resilience, particularly on adaptation any project. If you have any research and data, based on that, if you can create a smart and validate problem statement, if you connect the right people, even in United Nations, because they need people. United Nations directly don't want to implement activities on the ground. They need partners even, right? So that's why building that is very important. My final point would be, please make a contact list. If you ask me, in my last 18 years, I have categorically contact list. Number one, media. This is the person, this is the phone number, this is his strength and outcome. I regularly communicate him. This is the people from United Nations, and their specific category of work, and they love to talk or work. And email ID and others frequently comment. This is the people from corporate. This is the people from banks. This is the from NGOs. If you can make a robust contact list and frequently also check their social media and others and connect them, because, for example, Nuhal, I am here because you communicated with me proactively, right? Otherwise, because my time is very precious, like spending 2 hours is used for me. But I came here because you humbly communicated with me. The same goes to me, right? For example, after this meeting, I have a meeting with a very high-level person in Bangladesh. 2 weeks back, I have very humble request with an email and meet them. So human communications, again, with evidence, data, strategic thinking, meaning strategy is a very critical term. People don't get it. Strategic is something that we can generally cannot connect. That is called strategic, right? So if we can connect something very easily, please don't see it as a strategic. So there is many. So I am trying to make it that if you can build that narrative in a partnership is an outcome, right? You even don't need to even go for. They will ask for you. I will respond to something like this.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for the answer.
Thank you. Do you have other questions? Any inputs? Okay. I do not think we have any other.
Rashidah, someone rose his hand, I think, James Martin.
Okay, please go ahead. Unmute and speak, please.
Hi, good evening. My question is, how are we, I mean, as a climate and environment advocate, how are we going to react responsibly with U.S. President Trump's, um, a proposal to ban the windmill because he was claiming it was not totally green, and recently many environmental and renewable energy experts were also saying the same, that it's not actually a totally renewable and green technology.
Okay, thank you so much. Any of our panelists who wants to jump into that in 1 minute?
So I can respond in a different way. Shall I?
Okay. Yes, please go ahead in 1 minute.
Brothers, sisters, anything, everything, we are part of global politics, right? We need to have a very, very, very conscious understanding of global politics. I'll just give you a very rough or tough example. For example, in Palestine, Israel is in. I mean, I'm not sure who we are supporting or whatnot, but even 180 countries supporting Palestine, even Israel is not stopped, right? Why? They have very strong connections with the USA. They have the diaspora member with them. They have all linkage and global supply chain over there. So Donald Trump is an outcome of their political economical system. So I would rather not going against now with Trump, rather going against or campaign advocacy against the system. For example, how US generate money, how the socially is being built. For example, Mamdani, the New York leader right now, the way he did his campaign. Did you see that? It's connecting the people, right? He did not do the campaign against Trump. He did the campaign with the people. If you can connect, influence the people as a whole, that can ultimately bring the changes. I will be stop by saying that even in Asia, in recent history, if you see, in Bangladesh, the regime has been changed. The prime minister had to flee. In Sri Lanka, same story. I am not sure whether you knew it or not. The president had to leave. In Nepal, in recent times, the president had to leave because the people, if we can influence them, then the ultimate issue can come. What I'm trying to make is that ultimately, emotionally, database evidence that connect the people, that would be great. But currently, what you see, it's an outcome of a long-standing political issue where we can do a very little.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. I think it's about going after the system, not the person. Just leave the person and let the person continue, but just go after the majority who you know can actually do most of the influencing. Do we have any other input?
Yeah, I just want to support what MD Sariful has said. That for me, I try not to. I love Donald Trump as an individual, but I don't like his outlook regarding environmental and climate issues. And yeah, but I like him as an individual. And for me also, my work as an environmentalist has never been about all of this politics. What are people saying? Is renewable energy actually renewable? I mean, those are real questions, and that we need to try to find answers to, at least answers that save for the time. And some of these solutions that are coming in, there are things that will be improved upon and all that. So they are not at their finest yet. So yeah, it's valid for people to ask those questions. But for me, environmentalism has always been about people, about individuals. And that's why I'm saying that I'm supporting what MD Sariful has said, that I see the impact. I see how this thing is changing in my immediate environment. I see that the sea level is rising. I see that the ocean has sacked many communities where I'm from. I don't need to hear what Donald Trump says or thinks before I know that this is, I see it, I experience it, and I feel people's experiences. And that is why I want to help to educate people to be able to be environmentalists, because of the experiences they have, because of what they can see, not because of what somebody is telling them. Don't listen to what I tell you. Let me point you in the direction and show you that this is changing. See this, you can feel that this is a different experience from when you were younger. The temperature has increased. The temperature, it has gotten colder. You are experiencing this yourself. So it's not because I'm saying it, it's because it is actually real. So from the standpoint of that reality, that is why I want you to act. That is why I want you to be conscious. That is why I want you to begin to take action in your own little way. And if we're able to raise individuals like this, if we're able to impact people and help them come to this understanding in the most basic form, then we have a lot of voices. We have millions, we have billions of people with awakened consciousness. And whether Trump says this, whether any president, the UN, whatever they are saying, they are not listening to that, but they are acting based on the understanding and the realities they are experiencing. So beyond all the politics, let's continue to push the real experiences, the actual experiences, and act based on those realities that many people in the world are experiencing. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Very well said. Let's quickly take a group photo before we dive into other things. Nohel, are you ready for us? So for the closing remarks, the Deputy Director for Partnerships and Engagement at ATO ClimatEducate, Nohel Kabir, will be taking the closing remarks and vote of thanks. Nohel, can we have you, please?
Thank you so much again. I want to thank you, everyone, especially moderator and our panelist guests. Thank you so much for your valuable time. We really are grateful to have you here. And so throughout the programs, Mr. Sariful, Mr. Mayokun, and also Michael share so many examples from their work, and that we can use in our organizations as a youth into our climate actions. And yeah, so thank you so much. From small organization to big, Mr. Sariful says like we can. It doesn't matter like the partnerships. So it's grateful all those insights, and thank you so much. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Bye bye, Dr. Silson.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Mayokun. Thank you, Michael. Thank you,
so much.
MD Sariful. Thank you so much.